Stakeholders are asking President Akufo-Addo to implement measures that will see Ghana through the current economic crisis. The president will later tonight address the nation on the austerity measures government will take to steer the country onto a good path and alleviate the plight of the ordinary Guinean. JoyNews hits the streets of Accra to get the views of some Guineans ahead of the president's address later today.
Formally, we buy it 400 Ghana cedis. Look at the money. I'm telling you, I've packed this car for a week now. Where can I, how much do I get? Look at it, 1,000 Ghana cedis. That's what I'm going to pay for this, just this. So you can imagine, look at this. It's 1,000 Ghana cedis. I'm going to, you can follow me to Abusoka. The guy, I've called him. He says he's coming to open the shop because of me. 1,000 Ghana cedis. This, look at it. Why? And they will tell you the dollar has shot up. Dollar now is 60 cedis in it. Now, a single room at a lapidated area now, how much are they paying for a single room? And then they will tell you. So if you are just started work and you are being paid 1,500 or 2,000, and you are paying just for a single room 250, you have school fees to pay, you have other bills to pay. Can 2,000 take you home? You look at transportation now. I mean, what is the president going to offer us this evening? I don't see anything that is going to offer us.
Oh, I expect the president to talk about the fuel. Because I'm a taxi driver, I drive a taxi and I use fuel. Now we are seeing that the fuel is too expensive. Because that when early in the morning I wake up, I go to the filling station to go and buy fuel. Every time we see that the fuel price is going high. Sometimes you buy fuel more than 200 and then you get like 160 Ghana. But the cement price is so expensive. So when you are going to rent somebody's room right now, the price too is high. And how can a taxi driver rent somebody's house and then you stay in the person's house if you didn't get someone who is the landlord is a good person? I think that you can never stay in Accra here. So I want everybody to see that now the fuel is so expensive. This one is 40 Ghana. Yeah. So I thought that maybe we are lying. The same thing is like a diesel.
Our wife, they dissolve everywhere. Me like this, I stand here. My wife saying one day I'll go come, you will left her their home. We have 3 daughters. I don't know what I do, but because of those petrol increments every day, money not go home. And every day, harassment, those things, what's up?
It's like everybody's doing whatever they like. Should there be any, I'm asking if there is any regulatory body that is in charge of the price, because everybody is charging what they want. So if he can address the transport unions so that they said it's 20. And if you look at the amount, it's more than 20%. So he should address the dollar issue and also the transportation issue. I want him to also address it because some of us, we are students. You need to be going to school back and forth, and then you are giving like 20 cedis, and then 20 cedis, only transportation is 20 cedis.
Increasing food prices. So I think that one is very, very serious, and that will be what I will want the president to address.
Now, he should try and do something for us because the prices are changing too rapidly, and people are suffering.
So those were the thoughts of some Guineans ahead of the president's speech tonight. Let's now speak to a senior lecturer at the University of Cape Coast School of Business, Siram Kawo, who joins us via Zoom. Now, Siram, we do understand thoroughly the mood of the country and the anticipation of many Guineans. Let me start off on this note. As an individual, away from your professional expertise, what are you expecting the president to tease out tonight?
Okay. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I'm expecting the president to talk about how they're going to reduce the depreciation of the cedi against the major trading currencies that we have in the country. In that way, what are the measures that I expect the president to talk about? One, a strong measure from the Bank of Ghana for the Forest Bureau and the banks that are operating in the forest industry. A measure to ensure that the black market is kept down. I'm expecting the president to talk about that. The second one on the depreciation of the cedi is that the rates at which we charge at the port, a short-term measure could be that there is a fixed rate for at least 3 to 6 months so that business owners can plan whatever that they are going to do. Then the fuel prices that we have in the country is increasing almost every day. Over the past months, the president with the managers of the economy came out with some measures where the fuel prices have been fixed for some time, where we did not see any increase. I'm expecting that the president talks about that. So that will reflect on the prices of the commodities that we have in the market. I'm expecting a measure in terms of setting up a committee to look at the prices that have been charged in the market, so that we would be able to have stable prices across all markets that we have. Then also, I'm expecting the president to look at how he's going to reduce the size of the government. The size of the government is large, and so I'm expecting that there should be some cut down measures in terms of the numbers. Some ministries that have to be merged, they must do that. Some agencies that are not working, they must look at that. I'm expecting the president to talk about that too. Then the most contentious one for me is the free SHS. I'm expecting the president to announce a review of the free SHS, not cancellation, a review, and how they are going to ensure that parents or the private sector is also involved in the running of the free SHS.
Seram, just pause your thoughts. Pause your thoughts for me briefly. When you talk about the review of that policy, what exactly do you mean? What would constitute an appropriate review for you, given the current economic circumstances?
Yeah, an appropriate review would be that those who are in the boarding house can pay for feeding. So if parents can be made to pay for the feeding of their children who are in the boarding house, that in a way will do for me. The second one is that they should allow the PTA to come back. In some schools, the PTAs are not allowed, the schools are not allowed to take any money from the PTAs. And so if the PTAs are allowed to take part in the management of the schools, where they have some donations that they do, some schools are doing it on their own, where they buy foodstuffs and go there, that would be good. Then the way the free SHS is being run in terms of the food items that are supplied to the schools, I want it to be decentralized, where the headmasters and mistresses can now buy the food from the local communities, where it is not centered at one place in Accra, where they buy the food at one venue and then they distribute at a cost. That can also be done. That will be a review that will alleviate the pressure on government, and then people will be able to afford, and then government rake in some amount of revenue.
All right, Seram, one of the pertinent issues that has lingered, over the period, within the course of the just gone by week, has been the issue of the finance minister being at post. Are you expecting the president to make any comments in that regard? For example, would you be happy if President Akufo-Addo tonight comes out to tell Ghanaians that, look, he has heard the concerns of Ghanaians and therefore he wants to effectively ask Ken Ofori-Atta to step aside? Will that come to you as a surprise?
No, that will not come to me as a surprise. Before the 95 or 80 parliamentarians came to talk about their decision not to support government if the finance minister stay in office. I have been talking about the finance minister resigning or being reshuffled to another ministry. And so when the president comes to tell us today that he is going to change the finance minister, that won't be a surprise to me at all.
But hold on a second.
What would be a surprise to me is if he announces it today, per what the parliamentarians spoke about, and he asks that they should allow him to finish the negotiations, and then after the reading of the budget, he will make a decision. So if he changes his mind today to announce that the finance minister is no longer there, that would be a big surprise to me.
Right, but looking at his posture over the weeks, this is something that we should even be anticipating in the very first instance, because he has said repeatedly that the finance minister has been dutiful, he has discharged his duties, excellently. Therefore, he doesn't see any reason to discard him.
Yeah, you see, the president is an individual. He has experts who are advising him. But then looking at what has happened over the week, where your own party members came out and they themselves know that the situation is not too good. We have senior members of the party, the opposition, talking about it. Ghanaians are talking about the reshuffling of the finance minister, and then the minister in charge of finance at the presidency. That should call for a change of mind of the president. The only constant we have in the world is change. And so the president can change his mind and agree to the nation as a whole. If the president should come and tell the military that, look, things are hard, times are tough, we still want you to be at the barracks, don't take control over the nation, I would be able to fix things, then it means that he means business. Right. And therefore, he will listen to Ghanaians.
Right. Seram, thanks for your company. And so that particular address would be later on tonight at 8 p.m. and it will be live here on the Joy News channel. Now, former Deputy Finance Minister Paa Kwesi, lawyer Clara Kasati, and the trade unions Congress's Dr. Kwabena Otu have also been sharing their expectations ahead of the address. They spoke on Newsfile on Saturday.
Because we are shut out of the international market, we are not able to borrow externally, so we are borrowing internally. Borrowing internally means exactly that the Bank of Ghana is picking up a lot of the tab and monetizing the debt, the deficit, which also actually means that we are printing money, and that feeds into rising inflation and devaluing the currency. So the situation is critical. And we don't know exactly what will happen in the next few days. So government, and in this case the president, must on Sunday provide adequate information to the Ghanaian public. That will quell the speculation, which is partly also to blame for. Of course, the underlying fundamentals are not good. The speculation then feeds on those underlying bad fundamentals.
Now, what I expect to see, to hear from the president is that, of course, he's taking tours. So I expect to see that the people will be at the center of his speech tomorrow. And when I'm talking about the people, I'm talking about what he would have heard and felt and seen from the people, from the many engagements that he has carried out across the nation before tomorrow. I also expect to hear something positive about the economy, some assurances. There's been a lot of talk, and people are worried, for example, about, their investments in certain government bonds and whether what is going to happen as well and all of that. I expect the president to say something about the economy, including that, so that it can bring about some assurance. We've said it time and again. The thing that makes banking successful is public confidence.
Be in the president's speech. Most likely it will not, but we will still say it because words carry weight. I made 2 points before I came in. My first point is that we must send positive action-oriented signals, and we've listed many of them today. But I want to add that over and above the cutting of ostentatious expenditure items, please, for the sake of Ghana, let's do the right thing. Let's utilize our gift-miss system for purposes of checks and balances. Ghanaians may ask, what is that system? It is our accounting system within our public financial system. To date, only 30% of government expenditure or public expenditure goes through that system. That is a failure on the part of our economic management team, which is overlooked by, or which is looked over by the president himself. That in itself is bad, which means that we don't know what happens to the other 70% expenditure. So.
Now, away from the president's upcoming address, the Ghana Private Road Transport Union has rolled out new transport fares. The group says that this action is long overdue and want government to work on the consistent increase in fuel prices to cushion them amid the rising inflation of goods and other services in the country. Elikem Akukumpe reports.
The Ghana Private Road Transport Union earlier this week announced that it will increase its fares by 19%. This decision was arrived at after a meeting with government to find a middle ground because of the incessant increase in fuel prices. The drivers say this is necessary because they also have to make ends meet.
Okay, and then I Saturday and they been quay until Monday they be said the airport. Because food and too much. You know, my short one, food and too much. And I will cry the Tomono crying and covering and cover drivers no cry, still and covering. Well, what first one to my second one to my third one or to my fourth one to my fifth.
Oh, a big company, a big so many don't compare, but oh, big company, I spend each run. Benyabutan and Acas because you depend on you away. Now, San as Unyabutan Casa, places like that because we are Empire to fame. Intermediate means see a sofa, me problem, Bio. Yeah, Lodumadina 75. That's all bad, yeah. As to Babiane, Sadio Bagin 4-5, 4 CD, 5 CD. Sad, you.
For the passengers, the effect is visible in how they express their sentiments.
Yeah, sure. As for fares, it has really been increased. Okay, the difference compared to what I paid last time is almost 1 CD 50 pesos increment.
Dora. Yeah, ni be there, brepa. Lolo fe. Yeah, ton ye man ketenke ya be fa won kran ani kumasi aye koton. No kwasem ya braka sanka. They say aka 120 yeah 22. They say 25.
These mixed reactions will go on for a while, as it appears fuel prices may not come down anytime soon. Eli Kim, Aku Kumpe, JoyNews, Accra.
Meanwhile, Chief Executive of Stanbic Bank Ghana Limited, Kwamina Asominin, has urged graduates to be open-minded about opportunities available in the world of work due to the current turbulence the world is experiencing. It says the country's current conditions may unsettle graduates.
The 21st graduation and 32nd matriculation ceremony of the Catholic University of Ghana, FIAPRE, Sunyai, saw 315 undergraduate and 600 postgraduate students graduated, while 973 fresh students matriculated. In his address as the guest speaker, the CEO of Stanbic Bank, Kwamina Asominin, said the current turbulence requires that graduates do not limit themselves to opportunities in the world of work. He urged them to venture into entrepreneurship while exploring the digital space.
Be willing to break a new mold of opportunities and ideas. And this is quite important because the world has redefined work as no longer a place you go, but rather a thing you do. But this paradigm shift increases the opportunities to pursue entrepreneurial dreams across many fields. The ongoing revolution is creating opportunities for many human interactions and new business models, and at the same time reshaping the way firms compete with one another. What I'm asking you to do is to broaden your minds to other career opportunities.
Vice Chancellor of CUG, Professor Daniel Sobin Ofori, said while the institution is positioning itself as the preferred choice for STEM education, he notes the university also values courses that sharpen the moral consciousness of students.
A knowledge and skilled human resource without morals is a danger to society. That is why our institution values courses that sharpen students' moral consciousness. Seek any opportunity to volunteer, as it is a key component of nurturing one's talent and developing critical relevant skills set for one's career. The blatant disregard to time management by most Ghanaians must not be part of your life journey, because being conscious of time and having some respect for the schedules of others is fundamental to achieving personal and national goals. And remember that a man's or a woman's character is or a fate.
Gifty Sai and Mary A.K. Okoro were adjudged the Stanbic Bank overall best graduating students. Sai expressed appreciation to the management and lecturers and implored her colleagues to make optimum use of the knowledge and skills acquired.
We see these things knowledge as a core of duty to mother Ghana and beyond. Let us make optimal use of the knowledge and skills we have acquired to project the unique qualities of the Catholic University of Ghana, wherever we find ourselves. As we go to join the labor force, let us make up our minds to work in sincerity.
Precious Semevo, Joy News, Fiapre.
The National Road Safety Authority has begun a pilot installation of solar speed radars, a digital speed monitoring signal in Ghana. The aim is to check speeding on Ghana's highways. The authority says that it will also install cameras on highways to capture speeding vehicles soon. Engineer David Adontin is the acting Director General of the authority.
$1,443 people died from road crashes between January and July this year. According to the MTTD, 9,218 persons also got injured in road accidents during the same period. To help reduce the numbers, the National Road Safety Authority is piloting a speed radar project on the Accra-Tema motorway. Acting Director General of the authority, Engineer David Adontin, explains how the radar works.
The signs, as you see, they are solar powered. The speed limit by law for that particular road, on the motorway in particular, is 100 kilometers per hour. Now, there is another sign. That one happens to be the changing sign. It tells an approaching vehicle your speed as against the speed limit on that particular stretch. When your speed is within the acceptable and the lawful one, then the figures will change to green. When the speed is above the speed limit, then it will change to red, clearly telling you of a danger.
He explained that to make the system effective, they will soon mount cameras on the speed radars to help arrest offenders.
Now, the next level that we're going to go is to come and add some cameras to this facility. What the cameras will do is that once it turns red, that means you have flouted the law, and it will take a photo or a video of your vehicle. It will show the vehicle's registration number. It will show you the driver, even your face and other features that can be traced through DVLA and the police, and you can be apprehended.
But do people agree with the 100-kilometer speed limit on the motorway?
When I say this is a motorway, with this condition of potholes and whatsoever, people crossing, it's a death trap. So if you're asking us to go 100 kilometers, you are rather putting us into danger. You should rather come down. Yes. Look at it. You go 100 kilometers per hour with these potholes. I'm sorry.
Drivers, as a human being, when you give a human being 1 inch, he take another. So if there's a limit, we'll control the speed limit. The 100 kilometers per hour is okay.
Ideally, if the road was in a good condition, they are said to be like 100 kilometers per hour. For me, it's okay. But looking at the state of the road, I think it's not in a very good shape.
The Ghana Road Safety Authority hopes to install these radars on all highways throughout the country after the pilot project.
Now, away from the capital, residents of Taha and adjoining communities are asking governments to fix the deplorable roads. They say the roads have claimed a lot of lives through accidents. The residents also say the contractor abandoned the project a few months after work on it started.
The Taha Road a few months ago was riddled with potholes, making it very difficult for commuters to use. This forced drivers to stop using the road after a particular time of the day. Vehicles owners complained of constant breakdown and cost of spare parts. Then the road was graded to aid movement, but this is sent by the residents more as a nuisance because of the dust that emanates anytime vehicles pass. Business owners are the most hit. Maria Yakubu, a chemical seller, said the constant cleaning of the drugs make the drugs look old and expired.
You see the walls, look at the walls. They are all dirty, inside dirty. Even if you paint it, it will still be like that because of the dusty road. So the inside, to look at, we just mobbed it yesterday night, but look at how it is. So it is not only the drugs, but the surroundings.
Another seller, Hamdiatu Abdul Wadud, said the dust keeps contaminating her food.
This bar is my bar. I'm not selling the food. Here, somebody come and dance. So this area, Pompoman Yidana, all you see in Chang, Mason Tomaco.
My husband is a mason, and because the rains have stopped, coupled with high cost of cement, there are no jobs. So he supported me with some capital to prepare rice and sell so that we can feed. But because of the dust, people come around and they don't buy. It's affecting sales seriously. I and my husband are from Boko, and we all know what is happening in Boko.
The Taha Road is one of the most important roads in the Sanergo and Tamale municipality. Vehicles who move to the landfill site and the major gravel pit use that road. Vehicle after vehicle that pass stirred dust, making it very difficult for people to breathe. Another resident, Mohammed Awal Dukurgo, said the road serves 6 communities but has been neglected and appeal for it to be fixed.
This road has been given to contract since 2002. And the contractor came and started the bridges to Taha. They didn't even reach up to Balai, not even reach up to Fo, and stopped and ran away up to now. As I'm speaking now, we don't even know where the contractor is. We don't know what about the route. And as I'm speaking now, you can see, even recently that our MP came out for a bulldozer to pull out the road for us to follow. And as I'm speaking, you can also see the houses, all the houses, you can't even wash your things and dry it. You can't even wash your things and dry it. So we are appealing to the government or the contractor, if he's hearing what I'm saying, he should come out. He should come out immediately and do something about the road for us. Taha people are suffering, Bogoye people are suffering, Balai people are suffering about the road.
For JoyNews, Martina Bugri reporting.
Let's now turn our attention to the Western region, where the Deputy Chief Executive of the Coastal Development Authority, CODA, Mona Ifa, has underscored the need for constant education and screening to halt the rise of breast cancer in rural areas. She's been speaking at a screening by her outfit, the Mona Ifa Foundation, in the Wassa East District of the Western region.
This is the Mona Ifa Foundation trying to create awareness about the breast cancer that we are celebrating or creating awareness for this month. Yes, this is Wassa East. We decided to come into this constituency to ensure that our people, our women in here, get the best, and to ensure that they improve their health and well-being in the community. So we came here to create the awareness and offer free health screening too in respect of other illnesses in the constituency. We estimated around 500 people within the Wassa East constituency to benefit from this program. In Wassa East, we have 3 electoral areas. We have the Ateku zone, the Boasi zone, and Atobiasi zone. So we're sharing this estimate amongst the various electoral areas. So in Ateku, for instance, we estimated 150 and a little above that. And so far, it's getting to mid-afternoon, late afternoon, and we've had almost around 100, and we are hoping that by the close of the day, we'll get the number. People keep trickling in. They keep trickling in as time goes on. You know, most of them are farmers. They go to their farms and all that. So when they come back, they come in to do this screening. Cancer is a very serious illness. In fact, it's an illness, if you do not discover it in time, you can never cure. So my advice to my fellow women is that as quickly as possible or as early as possible, they should run to the hospital, the nurses, the doctors, to screen them to ensure that they do not have this illness. This illness, cancer, is an illness which if it's not discovered in time, can create a whole lot of other issues for you. But if discovered in time, you'll be able to cure it. It can be cured. The only thing is that it has to be discovered in time. So my advice to them is that my ladies, my women, and my men, advise your women or urge them to to every time go to their hospitals, see their doctors, their nurses, and do what is right. Get them to screen them, get them to ensure that they do not have this disease, and if they have, to ensure that, yes, they are cured as early as possible.
Contractors working on a 100-bed trauma-biased hospital at Obuasi in the Ashanti region have assured the job would be completed on schedule. The multi-specialist facility, to be equipped with children, women and children theatres, will also serve as a district hospital to provide one-stop medical services to the general public. Ohim Interior has the rest of the details.
Ghanaian contractor Universal Hospitals Group was awarded the contract to construct the 100-bed trauma center to be completed in 3 years. Superstructure works are currently ongoing at the facility, which, when completed, will relieve the pressure on Konfanochi Teaching Hospital's Accident and Emergency Center. The Universal Hospitals Group recently won the Best Medical Systems Consultancy in Africa at the Global Health Pharma Awards 2022 in the United Kingdom. Chief Executive Frederick Amisa tells JoyNews the facility will also come with accommodation facility for health workers.
There's going to be a brand new 100-bed trauma-biased hospital for the Obuasi Municipal Council, and it's a multi-specialist hospital with all the units, functional units that you can envisage for a district hospital. So it's trauma bias, but there's mother and care, there's physiotherapy, there's diagnostics, and of course we are providing theaters, wards, both male, female children, and also accommodation units and a mortuary. So it's going to be a one-stop center for healthcare delivery in Obuasi and his enclave.
President Akufo-Addo recently inspected the project as part of his 4-day working tour of the Ashanti region. It forms part of 32 health projects being undertaken in the Ashanti region by the government.
Our company is the #1 healthcare construction agent company in Africa. That is based on the award we won this year. So we are a one-stop shop for healthcare construction. This is a 3-year project, and we've done 35%. So we are basically ahead on schedule, and we plan to deliver it within the 3 years.
When completed, the facility will cater for Obuasi and its environs, as well as Central, Western, and the Western North regions. From Kumasi, for JoyNews, Ohim Interior reporting.
The Jirapa Municipal Director of Health is worried about the high rate of teenage pregnancy in the municipality. Florence Angsowine says that last year, the municipality recorded 169 cases, with 45 of them dropping out of school. She's been speaking at the commissioning of an adolescent-friendly center at Jirapa. Rafik Salam reports from Jirapa.
Jirapa Municipal Health Director of Health Services, Florence Angsowine, said adolescents constitute a significant portion of the population since they form the foundation of the future workforce as key assets and human resources with great potentials to contribute to their family and nation at large. The 2021 Population and Housing Census projected adolescent population of the Jirapa municipality at 20,493, representing 22.9%. Florence Angsowine noted that her outfit has the mandate of ensuring accessible, acceptable, and affordable quality health services to all age groups within its catchment area of operations, hence the need for the establishment of the Adolescent-Friendly Center. The dream to establish Adolescent-Friendly Center started 3 years ago.
We have the mandate of ensuring universal health coverage, ensuring that the vulnerable in our community have access to health services, and the adolescents are vulnerable. In the case of Jirapa municipality, we have also looked at even the care of the aged, and we have instituted
day care of the aged, that we render services to our aged at their communities.
Florence Ansomuni painted a mental picture of the trend of teenage pregnancy, HIV/AIDS, STI, and abortion.
We have evidence of teenage pregnancy. It's not only in Drapa. It is nationwide. It is a global canker. Drapa is fighting it. It's getting better in Drapa. Our figures are dropping when it comes to adolescent pregnancies. Abortions, sexually transmitted infections, HIV/AIDS, our adolescents are not spared. They are into drug abuse, substance abuse. You go to some of our schools and they are taking snuff. Snuff. The students are here, they know it. And when they start taking these things, then they will go to the cocaine and the others.
There are also cases of suicide and attempted suicide.
They are also engaged in violence. Some will discontinue school, and some to the extent of committing suicide. This year, we've had 4 of our adolescents trying suicide. 3 of them were females. And when we say 4, we had more than 4 attempted suicide. Some actually committed suicide. But they are above 19. That is why I did not mention them here. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need to pay special attention to our adolescents. Findings from a survey indicated that there is lack of parent-child communication in our municipality here. It's inadequate for our parents to sit down and communicate, educate their children. So we are saying, parents, let us be up and doing.
The region of Yoruba, Nadina Justice Dolabong, who was joined by the Tisa Queen Mother to commission the adolescent-friendly center, encourage young people in the community to take their roles seriously.
If you think that your parents are that poor and cannot take care of you in school, why don't you display it in your brain, in your performance, in your personality for somebody to adapt you? It is very possible. There are people working with money, looking for people to support or sponsor to achieve their dreams. They might not come begging you to do it, but when you present your certificate or when you present yourself as a person, you will see them in abundance.
Some beneficiaries, it is their happiest day.
My name is Izu Fedra, and today is my happiest day because the Adolescent Health Corner has been established in the Drapa municipality to help us to know more about our body and also to separate us from our parents to avoid the stigma. It also helps us to say no to premarital sex.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, Jiruba.
Upper West Regional Secretary of the Opposition, the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, Charles Pozing, says that the party's hopes of winning the 2024 general election is not based on the weakness of the governing New Patriotic Party. He argues that the NDC, while in power, made the lives of Guineans better compared to what the NPP has done. Another report by Rafik Salam.
The unity walk by the West Central constituency of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, came on the heels of the party's successful Constituency Delegates Congress, who saw the election of new constituency executives led by Chairman Alhaji Saku Sirki Famina. The unity walk was attended by a sea of party supporters, including the victors and the vanquished in the constituency elections, to drum home the message of peace and unity in the party ahead of the 2024 polls. Craig Hazard Malam is the lead convener of the Unity Walk.
because looking at the crowd that we've gotten today, I'm really very impressed. And then the fact that we are craving for unity, and the very unity we are craving for is right here with us, because as you can see, everybody from the constituency level, as we've done with the elections there, those people that have lost, you will see them there, and the winners too, they were all present. It's for the purpose and the unity of the party. And that's exactly what we're praying for. That's the motive of this very work. And then I'm very, very happy that finally we have been able to do this. And then I pray that as we go into the regional elections, we go and speak with decorum, and then at the end of the day, we'll come out after the elections as one party in a formidable front to wrestle power come 2024.
The NDC supporters walked through some principal streets in the Ward Township before converging at the regional administration basketball court and addressed by their leaders. APA was regional secretary of the NDC, lawyer Charles Wonga-Posen, stated that the NDC is poised to win the 2024 general election. This he believes will be achieved through the track record of the NDC in government and not the weakness of the ruling New Patriotic Party, MPP.
2024 is a year where we believe that once we elect the right persons, who are fearless, who are dedicated, who are competent, we should be able to wrestle power fully from the MPP and win majority of the parliamentary seats in the whole country. For Upper West, our target is 11 over 11. We are at 8-3. We believe that we'll capture the 3 other seats and add to our 8 seats. The MPP has failed woefully, but we are not relying on their failure. We will propagate what we know. As the saying goes, we are not relying on the weaknesses of our opponent. We are relying on our previous strengths. We have demonstrated to this country that the best party to lead this country is the NDC.
One central youth organizer of the NDC, Abdullah Ibrahim, assured the youth of an NDC government giving opportunity to the youth to better their lives.
Those who work for the party will also benefit from the party. Let's make it clear. I don't think we are working for the party just for the party to come to power. We are working for the party to also cushion some people or give us some social amenities. Imagine those women over there. Some of them were here around 5 o'clock just to work for NDC to come to power. If the party comes to power, they'll be neglected. I don't understand why a party chairman or an elder of a party will have contracts, give scholarship to his children to go and study abroad. School feeding, the person will give to his wife or the nephew or somebody, one of the people who are fighting for the party. So we are telling them that they should have patience for now, whatever it is. But they are also going to enjoy what they are fighting for.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam. Wow.
The multimedia group has been recognized by organizers of the 33rd edition of the CIMJ Annual Marketing Performance Awards in Accra. Laugh FM's Erastus Asaradonko was honored for his Distraction for Good documentary that highlighted the devastating effects of the Galamsey menace. The group was also adjudged the Media Organization of the Year, while its online platform, joyline.com, was awarded the Online Portal of the Year. Drive Time on Joy FM also won the Radio Program of the Year. For things, and of course, hearty congratulations as well. We take a breather here. When we come back, we have business. Thanks for your patience. Now, in business this afternoon, the director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, Professor Peter Quartey, has reiterated calls for government to reduce the 1.5% levy charged on electronic transactions. He wants governments to rather charge 0.5% in order to get more people to pay and thereby increase domestic revenue.
That government or it will work, and we're hanging on e-levy. The mistake was that e-levy was not well crafted. The rate of 1.75 or 1.5 will never work. So if we had known or listened to good counsel and knew that e-levy wouldn't work, then we would have gone to IMF earlier. But we thought e-levy would give us the revenue that we needed so we were able to operate. But that, unfortunately, that did not work, and we had to rush to hybrid. As soon as e-levy didn't work, the market started to react. External investors started to react, started to exit the market, and that is what precipitated the rush to the IMF. E-levy shouldn't be at 1.5%. Never in history that you sell a product that has substitutes and you say, I am pricing it high. It doesn't make economic sense. I think we should have priced it very low, 0.5. People will pay and use the service. It's a useful service. We also have to raise taxes. So e-levy is a good way of raising taxes. We have to pay, but not at the current rate.
Products from the industrialization program dubbed One District, One Factory would not be limited to the African markets, but to other European and global markets. This is expected to help the country with some foreign exchange as well as open up job opportunities for the youth. Minister for Trade and Industry, Alan Tremonti, made this known after touring the first specialty beer factory under the One District, One Factory program at Isawam in the Eastern region. Here is more.
One Factory policy enjoyed some waivers on import duties and other levies as a cushion for the company. As one of the local brewery factories in the local community of Nsawoma Adwejiri, it is expected to use local raw materials for its production, thereby giving some value to farm produce. Minister for Trade and Industry, Alan Tremonti, after a tour of the facility, expressed excitement that the product from the factory will be on global shelves to earn the country some foreign exchange.
We have the African Continental Free Trade Area, and these are the type of products that we believe can put Ghana on the shelves of other African countries. We are also aware that we have a duty-free, quota-free trading arrangement with the European Union, with the UK, and with the US. So it means that, yes, we are targeting the local market, but the potential goes beyond Ghana and then Africa. We can sell duty-free to all these other global markets. So we are very pleased that our investors from Belgium actually responded to government's call to participate in the One District, One Factory initiative. We are really excited about this particular investment.
Managing Director for Specialty Beer, Christophe Henot, told journalists that the company is focused on creating a niche for its products in the market.
We want to differentiate ourselves from the big industrial brewers that you're all familiar with in the country. These companies obviously seek volumes and market share. That is not our drive. Our vision is to bring new flavors to the market, to the industry, and create a niche market. In fact, we're not there, and I want to emphasize that we are not here to compete with these established brands, but create our own niche market for special beers and bring excitement. Beer should not be boring, it should be exciting.
Specialty Beers Ghana Limited will be using local raw materials like cocoa, ginger, and rice, among others, in its production.
That's all for the news. For more, log on to www.myjoyonline.com. Now, up next is the law with Samson Ladi Anyanyani. But don't forget, at 8 p.m., we'll bring you a live telecast of the President's address on the nation tonight. My name is Paa Kwesi Schandorf. Do have a pleasant afternoon. Bye-bye.